Hi, my name is Laurie Marshall, and I'm a creative activist. I made a painting that summarizes the eagle view of human evolution so that we can understand as educators how to maximize learning in our classrooms. This scroll is divided into 3 parts. The first shows how long the dinosaurs have been on the planet. The second part shows how long the big mammals were the dominant species on the planet. And this last part is how long human beings have been on the planet. So now I'm going to flip the scroll over and unpack the human experience on the planet. So you see approximately 3.2 million years that human beings lived as tribes that were nomadic. This period of time, human beings knew about 170 people their whole life, 200 at the most. There are 170 dots on this section, all gathered around the fire at night, because human beings, as they learned to talk, would end their day around the fire sharing stories of what they experienced. This is why human beings are hardwired for story. We learn from stories. In this tribe that you lived in for 3.2 million years, everyone knew you, and you ate the same food and did the same dances and understood the same stories and images and symbols. And anyone who was not in your tribe was dangerous. You focused on the differences. And this part of the mural stands for when agriculture began and civilization began. It's a very recent event on the history of the planet. All the wiring from 3.2 million years focuses on the fact that strangers are dangerous. We are hardwired to be racist because anybody who was different was scary. If we got kicked out of our tribe, we died, either from beasts fighting us or from the enemy tribe killing us. The place in our brain where we feel exclusion is the same place where we feel physical pain. We have the hard wiring for stranger danger and to fear those who are different. We also have the hard wiring for curiosity. And when human beings came into cities and began to meet other tribes, we began to learn and be nourished from other tribes. This is a very exciting time on the planet, because we now can be nourished by all the tribes on the earth. And those who were born after the moonshot of seeing the earth hanging in space for the first time had the visual understanding that all human beings are one family on the planet. Art allows us to use our new brain, our thinking brain, and to further the hard wiring of curiosity over fear of differences. Art is based on taking different elements and creating something new. It is based on experimenting and valuing individuality. When you are doing art and making decisions and taking actions, you are using your newest brain. You cannot use your reptile fear brain at the same time that you are using the front of your brain. Therefore, the more art and creativity we use, the more we are changing the wiring of the human race. And as an educator, it is paramount that in your classroom, every student feels completely included and validated. So I want to revisit our 3 brains to gain more understanding about how important inclusion is. When we are triggered by our reptile brain and our body doesn't feel safe, it floods with a hormone called cortisol. For most of human experience, we were physically vulnerable, and we are so good at our survival techniques. When our bodies are flooded with cortisol, it stays in our body for 26 hours. When we feel included and loved and validated and safe in our tribe, our bodies flood with oxytocin, which is the same wonderful hormone we feel when we fall in love or when a woman nurses a child or when we have a mystical experience. having oxytocin flow through us, it only lasts for an hour. That means that when somebody is put down, shamed, embarrassed, and criticized, which triggers our reptile brain, we need 26 put-ups for every put-down. That, as an educator, is what you can train your students to constantly put each other up. We are so sensitive. We need each other's approval and inclusion so deeply that that is the first job of any educator. This description of the domination of different species on our planet correlates with the evolution of the human brain development. We have basically a three-part brain. We have a reptile brain, which is based in the back of our head. We have a mammal brain, which is inside the middle of our head. And we have a thinking brain, which is in the front and on the top of our head. The reptile brain, as you may already know, is what keeps our circulation going, our heart going, our lungs going, all of our amazing automatic organs that keep us alive. It's the source of our sex drive, and it's the source of our aggression. When we feel our body is attacked, the reptile brain will kill everything that moves. When there have been wars, you may have heard many stories of soldiers who kill all the women and children and men in a village. They are in their reptile brain fully. Once you're in your reptile brain, it is almost impossible to get out. The mammal brain is where we sense all of our feelings, which send data up to our mind, our brain. The heart and gut send more information up to the brain than the brain sends down to the heart and gut. The mammal brain is constantly sorting for whether or not you feel connected, loved, safe, and included. If the reptile brain is triggered and the mammal brain is triggered to not feel safe and included, we are not able to use our newest brain on the block, which is our thinking brain. So you may look around and see how weird people are behaving, how violent they are, and it's because they are not using their thinking brain because they feel unsafe and unincluded.